Welcome, 7th graders. This is take 2 of lesson 6-6. I attempted to do this from my computer, and it was just very difficult with the mouse and such. So we will see how this goes. Starting on page 332. I am not visualizing word numbers very well today. I can graph reflections on a coordinate plane. So to go to that page, open it up, and we will go from there. Vocab ready. So reflections, as you see in the mirror, you see everything a little bit backwards. This is a flip image. This is a mirror image, if you'd rather think of it that way. So think of a flip. Looking at the flamingo, notice the flamingo is flipped, okay? A mirror image produced by flipping a figure over a line is called the line is called the line of reflection. So right here, this line is the line of reflection. A reflection is one type of transformation. We talked about transformations, and we'll talk about them a little bit more tomorrow, with how things are moved, the mapping of a geometric figure. In math, an image is the position of a figure after the transformation. If you remember from scale factor, we had our original point A, and after we changed the scale, we called it A apostrophe A prime. All right, I'm going to have to close my door. Let me pause for a second. All right, I closed the door. The volume is gone. Hopefully no more distractions. So with the notes that I have given to you, please leave them out with you and follow along. We have right here, example 1, drawing a reflection. We have triangle JKL at the right, and put that on a graph paper. So right now, with the graph paper you're given, this is on there, so you don't necessarily have to copy it down right now. If you don't have the notes with you, you are going to have to copy it down. So you're going to have to notice that what points J and K are on. So then you're going to draw the image after reflection over the given line. So we're going to draw a reflection over the line that is highlighted here. So there's some steps that we follow when we do this. So step 1, and I must have a marker picked up or something. Step 1 is to count the number of units between each vertex and the line of reflection. First thing you need to remember is what a vertex is. A vertex, if you recall, is the point where two sides of a figure intersect. So the vertex are all our points, J, K, and L. So what we see is J is 1 unit away from the line of reflection. K is 1, 2, 3, 4 units away from the line of reflection. And L is 2 units away from the line of reflection. So for each of those, for each vertex, J, K, L, we are going to plot a point the same distance away from the line on the other side. So we're going to go 1 unit away on this side and plot J prime. Remember our new number? We're going to go 4 units away from the vertex on the other side and plot K prime. We're going to go 2 units away from the vertex of L and plot L prime. So we're going to connect the new vertices. I'm going to try to use a straight line. So we're going to connect J prime and K prime and L prime and J prime. And notice we have a lovely figure that is just like the other one, congruent, same size, same shape, just flipped, reflected over the axis. Kind of cool, kind of neat. Let's keep going. So we have example 2. We're going to graph triangle PQR with vertices P -3, 4, Q 4, 2, R -1, 1. So what we're going to do first is we're going to have to graph that one. So you are going to have to graph those ordered pairs on your note sheet that we provided for you. So we're going to first start with P. So starting at the origin, we're going to go 3 to the left and 4 up, and that's P. Q, we're going to go 4 to the right and 2 up. For R, we're going to go -1, 1 left, and 1 up. And then we'll connect those. Should use my line tool probably. And we have a nice triangle PQR. image, meaning the transformation of PQR after reflection over the x-axis. We should know this is y, this is x. So we're going to reflect over the x-axis. I like to highlight my line so I know I'm flipping it downward more than anything. So, flipping it downward. Okay, we go by the vertex. So remember from the last one, we need to count how many units away from the line of reflection, we'll call it, our vertices, our vertex, are from the line. So R is 1 unit away, so we're going to go 1 unit away on the other side. Q is 2 units away, so we're going to do 2 units away to the other side. That's Q prime and R prime. P is 4 units away, so we're going to go 4 units to the other side for P prime. And we're going to connect those, making our triangle. Hopefully I didn't mess this up too bad with my bad lines. Notice then we have the same shape. It's congruent, same size and shape, but it's just reflected over the x-axis. Okay? What you'll notice is our coordinates for our vertices of our new image, our reflection, P prime is -3, -4. Q prime is 4, -2. R prime is -1, -1. So let's look at what's the relations between those and our original points. They look fairly similar. Okay, so see if we can figure it out. And this is just another book example of the same thing. Theirs is a little bit prettier than mine. Here's what we find out. Our original, okay, so our original image, we'll say our original, okay, and our new prime, our image, after the reflection, notice our x values are staying the same, whereas our y values are their opposites. Okay, so what this tells you is that the y coordinate of the point reflected over the x-axis is opposite of the y coordinate of the original input. So when flipping over the x, the y changes. So if you want to write that down somewhere, flipping over the x-axis, the y coordinate changes. Seems a little backwards, but it will remain true, and we'll show you its opposite result next. So we're going to graph a quadrilateral now. You're going to need to do this in your notes. Graphing quadrilateral ABCD with vertices A at -4, 1, and B at -2, 3, and we're going to go C at 0, -3, and D at -3, -2. Hopefully I did that right. A little nervous about it. So we'll connect the lines for those, make our quadrilateral four-sided figure. ABCD. Looks pretty good to me. And we are going to, if you read the directions, we're going to reflect this over the y-axis. So instead of going on the x-axis, we are going to reflect it on the y-axis. So we're going to be going over to the right rather instead. So when we do that, first we look at the units. So we're going over, B is 2 units away. So we go 2 over to the right for B prime. A is 4 units away, so we go 4 units to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. A prime. B is 3 units away, so we go 3 units to the other side. I might use different colors. Maybe I should be using different colors to the other side to show the same amount. Or D prime. And then notice C is right on the origin, so it stays. C and C prime are actually going to be the same point. So I'm going to connect those. It's getting kind of messy, but we're going to be okay. So we have B to C, B to A, B, and there. Notice same shape, same size. They are congruent. It's just rotated or reflected or flipped over. So again, notice our new coordinates and what is the relationship of them in comparison to our original coordinates. Look at x, look at y, and make the comparison, remembering that we flipped over the y-axis this time around. So we should notice that in this case, our y values stayed the same, whereas our x values went to the opposite. So what that means is our x coordinate reflected over, it's changed from the original. So when flipping over the y-axis, the x coordinate changes. Hopefully you're realizing how important our math language is while we're learning about math. One little study tip before we move on is notice that if a point lies on the line of reflection, the image of that point has the same coordinates. So that was just our notice of what we noticed on C and C prime. There was no change. It stayed. So check your progresses at the bottom. You might want to try these ones, and you can give them a go as well. So let's see where we're at. Pretty good. We got good time. So we're going to graph triangle FGH with vertices 1, -1. So we're going to do this on D first. So we're going to do 1, -1 for F. G is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -3. H is 2, -4. And this triangle, so those are our points. Okay? And notice we're asked to reflect this twice. Okay, so in B, we're going to reflect it over the x-axis, whereas when we try again in C, we're going to reflect over the y. So x, y. So I like to highlight it just so I know for sure I'm going over this line. So let's count my vertices to start. F is 1 unit away. F is 1. F is 1 unit away. Oh my goodness, my markers are not working. F is again 1 unit away, so we're going to make it go 1 unit the other direction and make this F prime. G is 3 units away, so we're going to make it 3 units away the other way for G prime. H is 4 units away, so we're going to make it 4 units away over the line of reflection for H prime. Then we're going to connect our lines. And notice that we have a triangle flipped over the axis. That did get a little messy. Hopefully your paper's a little neater than mine. You know how tricky my smartboard can be. But then we have to write the new coordinates of our prime. So what we noticed is we just went over the x-axis, and when we go over the x-axis, our y-coordinate changes, but our x-coordinate changes stays the same. F prime is still at 1, but instead of at -1, it's at +1. G prime is still at +5 for x, but it's up at +3 instead of -3. H prime is still at +2 for x, but instead of going down 4, we're at a +4. So again, over the x-axis, our y-coordinate changes. Okay? All right, last one, and then you are free to just relish in what you've learned today. So make sure we do okay this time. So let's graph those same points again. F, H, and G. So we're going to go F, 1, -1. Okay, unless they're wanting us to reflect to the next one. We'll do that. If we reflect it again, so this one here, and here, where's 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -3, and 2, -4. So that was F, G, and H. Okay, I just want to check something quick. I'm going to reveal the answer quickly, only because I wanted to see if we went from the original. Okay, we did. Because you could have too decided maybe I want to reflect this one over the y, but we're not going to do that. So FGH, now we're reflecting over the y-axis. We're reflecting over the y-axis, so we're going across this line now instead. So 1 unit away, so we're going 1 unit on the other side for F prime. 5 units away, so we're going 5 units, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side for G prime. Stick with the same color maybe. H is 2 units away, so we are going to go with h being 2 units away on the other side for h prime. We will connect our lines, f prime, g prime, h prime, f prime. And notice again, we have the same triangle, different spot. So let's make our coordinates. We flipped over the y-axis, and it looks like x changed to -1, whereas y went down to -1 as well. It stayed at -1. G went over to -5 instead of +5, and it's still at -3, whereas h prime was at -2 for x, and it was still staying at -4 for y. So remember, moving over the y-axis, the x coordinate changes. And here is our much more neat answers from the textbook. Thank goodness for copy and paste. And that really should be what yours look like, and if my SmartBoard wasn't crazy, what mine look like. So if you want to just pause here and make sure everything looks good on your paper, make sure you are writing things down that you're wondering, rewatch, check out somebody else's. Hopefully you can hear me, and we will see you next time.